Everybody, BYU football season starts on Saturday, and I am here to talk to you about my random thoughts about how BYU is going to do this year. That's coming up right after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Justin. I am Justin, and yes, BYU plays Portland State this weekend. Now, as we look at it, Portland State did not do very good last week. They got shut out in their game, so it should be an interesting game. Yes, Portland State's played one game, BYU's played 0 games. All right, so what are my thoughts about BYU and how their season is going to go this year? Well, here's my random thoughts. I thought the quarterback was going to be Hillstead, but I was wrong. I mean, Bear, he stepped up during fall practice and showed what it's all about. His ability, his athleticism, and that's like that. It's going to bring something different to BYU. And so, yeah, he is the projected starter for BYU, but you never know. BYU could pull a full 180 and put someone else in there after them getting hyped up about another quarterback. You never know. But yeah, BYU, they opened the season up at LaVell Edwards Stadium. So that game starts at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and that game is on ESPN Plus. All right, so yeah, you'll have to figure out how to get a Plus subscription. If you have Hulu and Disney and comes with ESPN Plus, and you're set. Or you can buy a standalone ESPN Plus. You know, it doesn't matter. Here's my honest opinion about the upcoming game this week. I think it'll be an interesting game. Yes, BYU and Portland State played once before, and BYU came out the victors of that game. But Portland State could come back and was like, you know what, I'm pissed off. We lost. We got shut out. We're going to go in and we're going to show college football what it's all about, going into LaVell Edwards Stadium and beating the Cougars. That's a great mindset. You know, BYU be like going, they got blown out. It's going to be an easy game. You know, whatever. You know, it's just, you know, the mind games and stuff like that. I remember back in 1990, BYU played UTEP for the first game of the season. And they had, oh my gosh, I don't know how many penalties they had, how many penalty yards they had. And then the next week they came home to LaVell Edwards Stadium. It wasn't called LaVell Edwards Stadium, but back then it was just called Cougar Stadium. But they came back, and the number one team in the nation was there. Miami Hurricanes were there, was in the LaVell Edwards Stadium, or Cougar Stadium. And I was at that game, and Miami came in cocky, because they're ranked number 1, and BYU beat them. Even though they had a poor showing the week before. So everything's possible, right? But I think that BYU will be playing a good game on Saturday. Portland State will come, and they'll hopefully have a good game. I have a feeling BYU will come out on top, but that's just my opinion, you know. The opinion of Just Justin. Woo, that's me. Okay, so yeah. But it's going to be interesting because we've got a new BYU offense, okay? Jake Raskoff is in Tulane down there in Louisiana. And now we got Bear. He came from Stanford, and he is here, and he's a freshman. And so he'll be starting, hopefully, I'm right, he'll be starting quarterback. It'll probably take him a little bit to get synchronized with like Chase Roberts and stuff like that, with the wide receivers, because, you know, they've been used to Jake. But now we have Bear. And so it'll be interesting. I think the first few series are going to be a struggle, just as everything's winding up and getting the synchronization down. I mean, you do that during practice, but it's not like a real game, okay? A real game, you get in there because, yeah, you're playing against a defense, but that defense is yours, and it's not your opponent's. So their timing could be different. You know, their looks could be a little bit different because they're practicing that. And so once, you know, a few series you get into it, boom, we'll see actually how the game goes. All right. So yeah, that is my opinion on BYU. the first week anyway. I will come back probably next week and talk about Stanford and give my opinions after I saw BYU play. All right. So yeah, that's just a random Wednesday thought here on Just Justin. I'll have more of these. Actually, I think I will have one a little bit later today or maybe tomorrow. Not to do with football, just randomness. All right. Because that's what this new direction I'm going in. It's just random, except for once a week, right after the BYU games, probably either Sunday or Saturday, depending if they play Friday night. I know they have one Friday night game. So that is my plan, is to just have one day a week, maybe two, because there's a couple things I want to get out before the Big 12 conference comes into play. But other than that, I'm just going to do some random videos, put more out, get more of my personality out there. I think I have a great personality. I don't know about you, but I do. All right? That's what my swing says. I have a great personality. Okay? All right, guys. So that is it for today's video. It's going to be a good game on Saturday. Watch it if you can. If you can't, well, I'll have a YouTube video out and a blog out on that on Sunday. All right, guys. Until the next one, I will see you later. Bye.